Well, hello everybody and welcome once again to Lightning TV, brought to you of course in association with mjdphoto.biz. Now, it was a rare weekend for Milton Keynes Lightning this last weekend, as they had a very rare home game on the Sunday night and away game on the Saturday. Although not so rare was the fact it was another doubleheader. This time it was Basingstoke Bison as the opposition. Now on Saturday night, Lightning took the points in a 3-2 win down in Basingstoke, but on Sunday it was reversed as Basingstoke took the points in a 3-1 win here at the Thunderdome. After the game, I caught up with General Manager Vito Rausa and also spoke to him about the big news of the week and that of the impending redevelopment of the Thunderdome here in Milton Keynes. Even Stevens weekend?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say I'm pretty disappointed about tonight's result. I thought, to be fair, I thought we were the better team, but we had a slightly dubious call at a critical time that I wasn't particularly pleased about. And I don't like to blame referees, but I thought that was I think it was a wrong call. Added to which we then go make a mistake by lobbing the puck out of play and go 5-on-3. They score a goal and it's all of a sudden then you're behind the 8 ball, you're 3-1 down, and a bit of a shame. But I thought we could have done better actually. I thought we played some good hockey at times. I think we hit the post 4 times. I thought the goalie was good, but I think we should have perhaps just made more of our chances and put the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, it seemed to be that although the guys were all firing tonight, there was a lot of frustration creeping in later on in the game. I mean, Yanni had a great game once again. Yanni Jokka and Blaz Emisic as well had a great game as well. But there was a frustration was there, wasn't it? Right, sort of bubbling under from the second period onwards, really. Yeah,
it was, and I think as you try and play, and you're trying things and they don't quite come off. It's very, very easy to get frustrated. But the good thing is that nothing really was decided tonight. To all intents and purposes, we were going to finish 4th, and we are going to finish 4th, I think. I don't think we can be anything other than 4th, actually, the way the league is now. From that perspective, you could see that whilst we wanted to win, and it was just a slight chance of sneaking up a place. I think we were more concerned about the performance, playing hard, working hard. And it's that perhaps is the bit that's more disappointing, that I just thought we could have done a bit better.
It could still change a little bit, but next Saturday's game, Slough Jets visiting the Thunderdome, could be a dress rehearsal for the following weekend, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could do, but I think in our minds we're playing Slough 3 times. Once next Saturday here, which will be good fun, and then we'll have them twice in the playoffs. So I think that's pretty much a done deal. Looking forward to it.
Okay, what I'm going to do now is we'll put the hockey to one side, because obviously there was an announcement this week that really didn't just affect Lightning as a hockey team, but affected all of the ice users in Milton Keynes. And I think it's important to remember that sometimes, with everything else that's been said this week on various forums and bits and pieces like that. 8 years ago, the Keep Our Ice March went through Milton Keynes. It's almost 8 years exactly in a couple of weeks. And everybody took part in that. There's 500 odd people. Not just as a result of that, but obviously work with yourself and Harry, and Lightning in general, and all the other ice users, Abbeygate Developments, the very, very important, and Milton Keynes Council. The announcement was made this week by Planet Ice that the refurbishment is going to take place, pretty certain to take place this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fantastic news. It's something that we've that we've worked hard over the years to try and get. I guess the thing that's caught us all a bit by surprise was that at one stage it was going to be done in between the seasons. But trying to do a job realistically, trying to do something between April and September, you just can't really do a good job. You can't start refurbishing a building, stop, play a season, and then continue. It's just not the sort of thing that you can do. And so from our perspective, we always realised that there was a slight chance that would take place. Now that it's been confirmed, from our perspective, let's get on with it. Let's get it done. I think the figure skaters, are sorted out in that they've got some options to skate in, I think in Coventry and possibly Peterborough. I think we need to sit down and just work out the best way to go forward with the juniors. That's a massive thing to organise. Obviously you've got the Lightning, you've got the Thunder, and then you've also got the rec teams as well. So no question about it, there's inconvenience all round.
Yeah, it does affect an awful lot of people because in there as well you've got the ladies team, the MK Falcons, and let's not be blasé about this. Nobody's going into this, in any kind of light-hearted way. We all know people are going to be affected, and it is going to cause a lot of, some hardship for a lot of people, and we will lose some people to the game, unfortunately, and because of travelling and stuff like that. But it's got to be a positive for long term for Milton Keynes Ice, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you look at the facilities here, whilst the ice is good, no question about it. On the whole, we've got pretty good ice. The sustainability of that ice is a challenge, and the plant is on its last legs. That needs replacing. The facilities look tired, look dated. They need some investment. And the thing that I would say is that if we don't get that investment, and if we don't spend some money on the place, it just, you're trying to repair it with sellotape all the time. And there comes a point where it just breaks, and once it's broken, the cost to put it right is a huge cost. And people don't realise that we're piggybacking off of development to help pay for the refurbishment. And so from that perspective, we're actually very, very fortunate in that we've got someone that's going to pay the money to do it. We're not paying the money. It's part of a £40 million scheme with the store, with a big supermarket, 2 other stores, from my understanding. And at the end of the day, whatever we get has got to be better than we have at the moment. And so from that perspective, if it gives us long-term, the long-term future, or secures the long-term future of the rink, it's just got to be a good thing. I remember going back to the days when we were without ice here in Milton Keynes, and that was a huge hardship. I remember I was a parent taking my 2 boys up to Stevenage,
and that was ice with no prospect of getting any kind of replacement. That was closure, full stop. This is closure with a reopening, with a difference. Yeah,
I mean, in those days it was we're not playing out of Milton Keynes. The rink's shut. If your boys want to play, your children want to play, then you're going to have to go and play somewhere else. And the club had great belief in those days. Tag Taylor as well did a fantastic job with a load of other people to keep things going, keep the prospect of hockey in Milton Keynes going. And as you say, we didn't know when the rink would open again, if ever it would. We hoped it would one day. Then, as luck would have it, we went to Stevenage, and that closed down on us halfway through. And so the next rink to go to was the Ali Pali. And as a jester, you as a fellow jester as well, we used to train there. We'd start training at 11:15 at night time, and you didn't get back in till 1:30, 2 in the morning. But you did it for the love of the game. And I don't want to belittle the hardship that it's going to create, because it is. It's going to give some challenges to some families. There's a cost implication of driving to Coventry. But we're going to have to get ingenious. We're going to have to get a little bit smart. We're going to have to organise some things here. How do we get people up to Coventry? Do we do coaches? Do we do minibuses? Do we do car sharing? How can we minimise the cost? We have to be sensible about that.
And that's the big thing, isn't it? No one's going to be left in the dark here. And, and bearing in mind that you as ice users, and I'm including Lightning and all the recreational teams, the juniors and the ice dancers and everybody else, we're only told about this on Wednesday or Thursday this week. So it's all fairly new to you, and you've all had to go away and start putting your plans together and everything else. You're not going to keep anybody in the dark. And certainly with regard to Abbeygate, they've been on board from day one. They've been absolutely fantastic from day one. They've always been trying to find a workable solution. And there is no hidden agenda there.
No, and I mean, it makes me chuckle really that some people say, well, this is what happens. The rink gets started to be refurbished, and then it doesn't get refurbished, they stop and you never get ice again. And that's just complete rubbish. Abbeygate have been fantastic. They've been a huge help, and they're funding this. Let's be frank about it. But it's got some challenges. You look at something like the Lightning, just from our perspective. So, on a Saturday night we play in Coventry, let's say. So we've trained on Thursday in Coventry. Is our kit in Coventry? Hopefully it is in Coventry. What if we train in somewhere like Oxford? Then our kit's in Oxford and we've got to go up to Coventry. So we get to Coventry on a Saturday night. We play the game. The shirts need washing. Where do we wash them?
And there's also the fact that even though if you are playing out of Coventry, you're not going to have a permanent changing room there as such, are you? It's not going to be somewhere where all the kit's locked away like you do have here. So and Thunder and everybody else are going to have the same sort of logistical problems, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, as I say, I think we're all going to have to just be a little bit patient and also try and be as clever as we can. From our perspective, do we get a little unit here that we can store our kit in? Do we need to get washing machines in somebody's garage so that we can wash the kit locally and then take it with us, because you don't want to go to Coventry on a Sunday to go and collect your kit that's been airing as well, come back, bring it back to Milton Keynes, and then drive down to Guildford. And it's those sorts of logistics that we're all going to have to face. Getting to games, it's going to be a challenge, but fundamentally, I'm happy to go through that challenge on the basis that at the end of the day, we get a nice facility here, however much, however nice we can possibly make it. And we're going to lobby Abbeygate as much as we can. We're going to talk to them and just make suggestions where we think things can be improved. But fundamentally, at the end of the day, I want to be back here in a year's time, year and a half's time, 8 months, I don't know how long.
And that's another crucial thing as well. Their guideline is anything between 14 and 18 months, but that's for the whole development. That's not the ice pad. The ice pad could be available before that, and teams could be playing back on the ice, providing obviously the building is safe to get into and it's accessible.
We're going to be meeting with Abbeygate to go over timescales and the whole schedule of works involved. And one of our questions is going to be, how soon can we get back onto the ice? How soon can the ice be used? I think if they can get the ice plant sorted and replaced and in place, then there's a chance that you can skate here and at least practice here before the whole thing's finished. I don't know how long that's going to take, and it's quite a detailed schedule to get done. There's a lot of work that's got to be done, but from our perspective, it's something that where you've got good dialogue, you can try and make some progress, and we've got fantastic dialogue with Abbeygate,
and also Planet Ice as well, who equally, they're in this as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you think of Planet Ice making the commitment to run the ice, I know that they will have done a deal with Abbeygate to take the lease over and to use the building. So all in all, a lot of people are committing to this facility. So it's not something that we're going to just allow to fizzle out. And then you've also got the whole supermarket thing where there's a limited amount of time before that supermarket has to be open. And I think that's got something like 15 or 18 months maximum. So the whole thing's got to be done within a certain time period.
Yeah, and there was also the clause in the planning, wasn't there, originally that said that the ice had to be finished before any retail could open. That was one of the clauses in the planning.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the things that we've got to sit down with Abbeygate, with Planet Ice, and just understand their timescales, and just we have to be realistic about it. But it surprises me that some people can be sort of quite negative about it. I can understand the challenges. I don't knock people for being concerned about the challenges, and they're not going to be easy. But having said that, I think we ought to be at least positive about what we're going to be getting.
I think it's a great thing. It's not going to be state of the art. It's not going to be all singing, all dancing. There are going to be things that quirks, if you like, that this building is going to retain. That it's had since it was built. That it's going to retain, and it's not going to be ideal for absolutely everybody. It's not going to be utopia for every single ice fan. However, like you say, it's going to be a vast improvement on what we've got. And let's face it, it's not too bad at the moment. It just looks a bit tired.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it'll be great, and I just can't wait for that first game here, or the first training session when we're back here. It would just be fantastic. Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah,
it's going to be good. Now, one thing I want to stipulate, this isn't answering everybody's questions, because everybody's got a lot of questions, especially as far as Lightning are concerned, and maybe other groups as well. So obviously, if anybody's part of their groups or their teams or anything else, they should seek their information first of all from their team representative, because they're the ones that are liaising obviously with Planet Ice, aren't they? And I do know that you guys with Lightning are going to have a fans forum in the very near future to allay fears and answer some questions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's sensible to sit down with the fans, because there are going to be so many questions, many of which we can't answer actually, because we don't have all the answers.
I had a thought actually in the car on the way here. For the last 7 years, when we've had the fans forum in August every single year, so you've introduced a team and everything else, the very first question that everybody's ever asked you and Harry is, when's the rink going to be developed? You're going to come to next August, you're not going to have that question.
No, I think Harry's actually redundant from next August, because that's the one question that he always takes. But no, we're going to have a fans forum. We're thinking either this Thursday or next Tuesday. We're not sure which, and we're going to have some information on the website. But we'd like to sit down with fans and just talk through our thinking, talk through what's involved, allay some fears as well, and perhaps just. I think reassure people that we haven't got all the answers. So for us, it's also a work in progress.
Brilliant. Well, Vito, I know I've probably asked you questions that you still don't properly know the answer to, and I do appreciate you being so candid with us here on Lightning TV. One thing's for sure. It ain't going to be a quiet, close season for you guys. You've got an awful lot of work to do, as well as putting a team on the ice for next season, wherever that may be. So, for the time being, go and rest up. Slough Jets next Saturday, going to be a toughie. But thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Well, many thanks once again to Vito for coming up to chat to us and put everybody in the picture, of course, about the developments and what's going to be happening over the next season or so. Now let's go and have a look at the rest of the weekend's results and check out the league table as of Sunday night. On Saturday then, and it was a case of points for Lightning as they beat Basingstoke in the first of the weekend's meetings between two teams, the score at the Herd being 3-2. That result was enough to hand the league championship to Guildford for the second successive year, although the Flames were beaten 2-1 in overtime by Sheffield. Slough beat Peterborough 2-1 at home in the hangar, whilst Bracknell once again took the points away from the Link Centre as they beat Swindon 3-2. Shock of the night saw Telford absolutely demolish Manchester at home, the score there being 8-2 to Tom Watkins' men, which means that Lightning leapfrogged the Altrincham side to third in the league, at least for that night. So on to Sunday then, and Slough made it a maximum point weekend heading into the playoff quarterfinals as they beat local rivals Bracknell 4-3 away at the Hive in another battle of Berkshire. Telford kept up their fantastic weekend as they scored 8 goals to make it 16 in 2 nights to beat Peterborough 8-4 at Bretton, whilst Manchester beat Sheffield in a fairly heated affair in Altrincham. Meanwhile, it was party time at the Spectrum in Guildford as the champions took to home ice against Swindon, although the Wiltshire outfit did their best to spoil the party and took it to penalty shots to settle the score as Flames won that one 5-4. So let's look at the league table, and it's congratulations to Guildford, who become English Premier League champions, with Basingstoke now confirmed as runners-up. There's still a bit of a fight to be had for third spot, with Manchester in pole position for that, with Slough now confirmed in 5th. Swindon and Bracknell will still fight over 6th, while Peterborough's season is now done and they have a week off to prepare for the playoff quarterfinals against the newly crowned champions. Sheffield will be licking their wounds from the weekend before meeting Manchester again on Friday night, whilst Telford will be buoyed after their recent run of form and will certainly be looking to build for next season. So there you go, just one more weekend of the English Premier League regular season, of course, before we go into those quarter-final weekends, before we head off to Coventry for the playoff final weekend. I want to pass on our congratulations to everybody involved with the Guildford Flames organisation for achieving the championship for the second season on the bounce. Now, I mentioned Coventry just a couple of minutes ago, of course. Don't forget, the theme this year for Coventry with Milton Keynes Lightning is Hawaiian. Over the next couple of home games, that's the last home game of the season next Saturday, and the playoff quarter-final game, you can still donate. There's a small box on the Supporters Club stand where you can make a small donation, and that goes towards the cost of decorating the block up in Coventry this year. And you can always pick up your Hawaiian garlands as well. 2 for £1 gets you those Hawaiian garlands, and also the limited edition t-shirts as well. There's t-shirts and polo shirts up for grabs on the Supporters Club stand. The t-shirts are £8, polo shirts are just £10. All you need to do, contact the Supporters Club stand on the next couple of match nights, or you can contact Dave Bunyan on david@b2promodesign.com. That's pretty much all we've got time for next week. The last visitors to Thunderdome in the league this season are next Saturday. That's Slough Jets. They're here, 7 o'clock face-off here at the Thunderdome. If you want to get your tickets cheap, of course, get them before Friday to get your discount. But for more information, go to the Lightning website, www.mk-lightning.com. Until then, have a great week. We'll see you then.